I'm going to start this video with two statements that shouldn't be shocking when said separately, but together might be confusing if you're an idiot who forms all their opinions based on Twitter reactions. Statement number 1. I'm not a Trump supporter. Yeah, you already knew that if you listen to any of my political doses. You know, the ones I just started making and haven't been doing since dose number 1. Statement number 2. I enjoyed the season premiere of the rebooted Roseanne quite a bit. This should also probably not be surprising. I'm 36. I watched the original, mostly on reruns and syndication since I would have been 7 years old when it debuted. But Jackie trying not to cry and getting frustrated as hell while telling her hard-of-hearing relative on the phone that her dad just died is easily one of the funniest TV moments of the 90s. Helps that apparently Norm Macdonald wrote it. But wait, Buckley, the new Roseanne is a comedy for right-wingers. Didn't you read Twitter? If you liked it, you must be a Trump supporter. I saw a few tweets from people who identify as Trump supporters claiming they finally had a show they could, quote, laugh along with. Because you know that Jew liberal media does nothing but make shows for leftists. Man, if you wanted some high-quality right-wing fictional entertainment this whole time, Fox News is now in its 21st season. And then I've seen some presumably left-wing people compare the show to All in the Family. This tweet mentions that Roseanne is being compared to Archie Bunker, but there's a huge difference. Her fans laugh with her, not at her. It teaches you to embrace racism. This person claims they grew up watching All in the Family, but they most definitely grew up in their own little echo chamber too. Most people would have back then. Much easier to never see any different opinions without the internet. There were absolutely people who thought Archie was the hero. To many, Archie's daughter and son-in-law Meathead were a couple of know-nothing kids, and his wife was a doormat. Archie was the man of the house, served in World War II, worked hard, and was the breadwinner. A story I'm sure my mom would prefer I never told in public is that my grandfather expressly forbid any TV show with black people on it being shown in his house, because if he had to see them in public, he didn't want them in his home. However, he allowed All in the Family because Archie made fun of Lionel. Everyone interpreted Archie based on their own views, and Roseanne, of course, will be no exception. But if you actually watched the episodes, it's not a bunch of right-wing propaganda, nor is it a, quote, show for right-wingers. It's about a family dynamic that is no doubt highly relatable, especially at this point in time when the country is maybe more divided than it's ever been. And maybe it's about understanding each other despite your difference of views, as lame as all that sounds. There's a moment where Jackie, that's Roseanne's sister, asks why Roseanne voted for him. Trump's name never actually spoken in the show. Roseanne replies,
"He talked about jobs, Jackie."
It's incredibly easy to understand why a promise like that would appeal to Roseanne Connor, as her family has always struggled in one of the most realistic portrayals on TV of lower middle class on a good day. Jackie, on the other hand, is a single mother who's been abused, and aside from not being able to say no to her sister, has always been a very independent woman. It's not hard to see why she wouldn't like Trump. And the first episode starts with them not being able to afford all the medications they're on, so clearly things still aren't going so well for them. If they wanted to make this propaganda, the Connors would be thriving under Trump's administration. And Roseanne doesn't promote bigotry. Her and Dan are portrayed basically as dinosaurs in a world they really don't understand anymore. Dan makes fun of his grandson who dresses in girls' clothing and paints his nails, but he still cares about him, as does Roseanne. They don't understand it, but they support him because he's family. There's another moment in the show that the right raised a Budweiser in the air for, when Dan said,
"When did masculine become a dirty word?"
Which again, you can interpret however you want. I see it as Dan's view of masculinity being very narrow and based on his own upbringing and too many John Wayne movies. But him manning up and accepting that his grandson is different and has the balls to dress how he wants is more masculine than sports and drinking beer and working with your hands. Does he learn that lesson? Who knows? He's a fictional character on a comedy show. It's way funnier if he doesn't. Does the audience? Some may, but most probably don't. Humans are a stupid, stubborn animal. And yeah, you know, Roseanne Barr, the actual actress, is a Trump supporter who once dressed as Hitler and baked Jew gingerbread men for a photo shoot, and she also grabbed her crotch and spit after butchering the national anthem. So basically everyone on both sides has a reason to hate her, Which is really what togetherness is about, uniting over a common hatred. And apparently both of those things have reasonable explanations, but regardless, I've never found an individual's politics to really affect my previous enjoyment of their work, or my current enjoyment of their work for that matter. I don't hate The Office or Extras or The Ricky Gervais Show because Ricky's kind of annoying about his atheism on Twitter. I don't even hate Louis C.K.'s stand-up because he jerked off in front of a bunch of women. I don't think Videodrome or Once Upon a Time in America suck now because James Woods constantly tweets about his hatred of immigrants. I don't think I'd want to hang out with any of them, but you're delusional if you thought that was going to happen anyway. They're not your friends, they're clowns for your entertainment. The king didn't give a shit that the court jesters all fucking hated him, he just wanted them to make him laugh. In this scenario, you're the king. The jesters are just way richer than you and you have no power. So anyway, as far as revivals and reboots and all that shit go, I thought it was good, and I'm excited to see more. And will she make fun of my viewpoint eventually? Maybe. Maybe she already has. And who gives a shit? I know that quoting yourself is as lame as a band wearing their own merchandise while performing a concert, but I've said it before somewhere, and I'll say it again. If you can't laugh at the things you love, you don't deserve to laugh at the things you hate.